Alright, so what you'll need to make these buttermilk biscuits is you'll need some sugar, baking soda, salt, baking powder, flour, 6 tablespoons of butter, and a cup of buttermilk. I don't have buttermilk, so what I've done is I took 1 cup of butter, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and I've let it set for about 5 minutes. It's been a little bit more than 5 minutes, but you can kind of see where it's done what it's supposed to do. So what I'm going to do now while I mix my dry ingredients is I'm going to cut up my butter into little slices and put it in the freezer so it gets really cold. And so let's get started. Stick around, I'll show you how to make these amazing buttermilk biscuits. Alright, so we're going to start adding in our ingredients. We're going to do 2 cups of flour. Let me get me a knife so I can do this like you're supposed to. So we got 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of sugar. Should already have that out. Now I need to fill my sugar bowl. A 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. I leave my baking soda in a little, this is one of those drinking mason jars, and then it has the little straw lid, and then I use it, I can shake it out, like I clean my sink with it, but I'm going to open it up to get it out. And then 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And a teaspoon of salt. So I'll put a little bit in here. All right. I'm just going to mix these up. And I have my milk in the fridge and I have my butter in the freezer. So I'm going to give them just a few more minutes and then we're going to start cutting in the butter. So we've got our dry ingredients. I've got my biscuit cutter. I don't know, I think it's like a dough cutter. I'm not really sure what these things are called, but I think I bought this a couple years ago at Walmart. They're relatively cheap, but it's just to help kind of cut the butter into your actual dry ingredients. I dropped it a little bit in the flour. But we've got our cold butter. So we're just going to add that. And you can use a food processor, but you want it to look like small little peas, smaller than peas. But you want to do it quick, so because you want the butter to stay cold. That's why the milk is still in the fridge, staying cold. And you can use 2 forks. I wouldn't recommend using your hands just because your hands will heat up the butter and melt it. Alright, so now I've got it all cut in there. You can kind of see, you may not be able to see, but you'll be able to see the little flakes of butter that are in here. So I'm going to make a well. And I took the rings off. And I'm going to pour the buttermilk in here. And then you're just going to start stirring it in. It's going to be sticky. And once this part is done, we're going to flour our counter, which is clean. And then we'll dump this on the counter. And then we'll fold it a couple times. Ooh, that is sticky. So we'll kind of get it. Make sure you get all the flour. Oops. Try to keep one hand dry. All right. So I'm gonna put it on my hand, and then we're just gonna pat it down, and then oop, get flour everywhere. Fold it into itself like 6 to 8 times, because you want to get those flaky layers. Ooh, sticky. And you can see, I mean, there's much more layers in there, but that's the reason for folding themselves into each other. And you want your biscuits to be about 1 inch thick. And you're going to use about a 2.5 inch biscuit cutter or a jar. Should have gotten that out. Okay, so I am using the top to one of my making jar drinks. So I'm just going to make sure I get flour on it so that it doesn't stick. And I have my pan right here. And let's see here. Well, it's good because it has that little air right there, or the little hole, so it kind of helps push out the air. Ooh. A little bit more flour. Now I'm just going to push this dough together, and then some more. Ooh. I think I could have used a bigger biscuit cutter. I mean, they're probably going to get much bigger, but I don't want them to touch too much. Ooh. She said in the recipe, she said you can only get 8. I got much more than that. Okay, so I have my oven preheated to 450 degrees. So I'm gonna put them in there for about 12 to 15 minutes or until they're golden brown. All right, so I just pulled them out of the oven and I've melted a little bit of butter. And I'm just going to put it on top. And mine were in there for about 17 minutes. So you might want to check them just to make sure. There's a perfect amount. Alright. And there's the yummy homemade buttermilk biscuits. Yummy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and we'll see you next time. Bye guys.